When I was 29 years old, I hit my heaviest weight of 275 pounds. It was then that my body started to give me warning signs that maybe my weight was starting to affect me health-wise, but I wasn't ready to look at it yet. One of the first signs was people started telling me that I was snoring really loudly when I was sleeping, having a nap, and I didn't really believe them. I kind of fluffed it off because I hadn't snored my entire life. Why would I start snoring in my late 20s? So I kind of just let it be, and then I started to fall asleep at very unusual times and in very unusual places on top of the snoring. And it started to get more and more frequent, to the point where I was at work holding a door open for someone and I started to fall asleep standing up. And there was a split second where I actually fell asleep and realized, oh my gosh, that's scary. But I continued on, to the point where I would be sitting having a conversation or watching TV and I would be falling asleep, sitting, standing. I went to college and in class, I was falling asleep uncontrollably. I couldn't stop it, to the point where we were having a really important presentation and I failed it because I fell asleep in the middle of it when someone was presenting, and the teacher thought I was being rude, no matter how I tried to explain, I can't help it. So I lost a mark. That's when I started thinking, okay, this is getting serious, but I still wasn't ready to do anything about it. So I continued on. Then I started waking up from sleeping, gasping for air, as if it felt like I wasn't breathing. And then Kyle, my husband behind the camera, he started waking me up in the middle of the night going, Nicole, you are snoring so loud. You are waking up like the entire house. And not only that, when you're snoring, you're not breathing. You're stopping breathing in your sleep. I started to get scared, but I still I love Kyle and I trusted him, but I still couldn't believe it. I was in so much denial that something was wrong that I had to find out for myself. So I went to Best Buy, which is it was an electronics store, and I bought a recorder. And I recorded myself sleeping. And I played it back the next day, and sure enough, there were multiple times throughout that sleeping period where I was noticing I was snoring and then I was stopping breathing. And then I was starting to wake up, and because I was stopping breathing in the middle of the night, my mouth was open all night, and I was starting to get a collection of mucus in my chest, and it was really uncomfortable, and I was starting to choke and gasp when I was waking up every single morning. One day I overheard a coworker talking about how they had a CPAP machine and they had sleep apnea. And they started mentioning some of the symptoms that I was having. And I started realizing this is really serious. If I don't get this checked out, this is gonna get way worse. And while that was happening, Kyle, my husband, he was 375 pounds. And he was going through things where he was waking up in the middle of the night really thirsty all the time. He was going to the bathroom frequently. And when it wasn't me waking up gasping for air or him waking me up saying, Nicole, you're not breathing, he was waking up gasping for air because he was having massive acid reflux in the middle of the night. And then when that wasn't happening, his legs were cramping up. Then I started to get so fatigued all the time to where I never felt like I got enough sleep. I was starting to come home at lunch on my breaks from work so I could have a nap. I didn't even want to eat. All I wanted to do was sleep because I never felt like I got enough. It was fatigue I never felt rested. And then it was starting to affect my thinking and my processing because my brain wasn't functioning properly. These problems continued on because Kyle and I continued to ignore them and ignore the fact that our weight was possibly causing these issues.
I think we kind of knew that it had something to do with our weight, or we were too afraid to go to the doctor and see what the actual problem was because we knew we caused it ourselves.
That was what I think my real fear was that if I went and got a sleep study done and it was confirmed that I had sleep apnea, I would have to look at the fact that it was my weight that was causing it, and it was me that caused my weight problems. And that was so scary. But I finally did it because it was scaring me. My fatigue and my stopping breathing was getting worse. And so I booked a sleep study, and I went and I got it done, and I slept there and they monitored me. And when I went to get the results, it was pretty scary. They said, yes, you have sleep apnea. You are stopping breathing 7 times every night. And not only that, you're partially stopping breathing 84 times a night. Your brain is shutting down. It's why you feel like you're never sleeping. Your brain thinks that it's literally dying. And it's trying to protect you. And so it's waking you up and it's never letting you rest. It's afraid. When the doctor said it to me like that, I was like, okay. I got a CPAP machine. I kept on for a bit. Then I developed plantar fasciitis in my left foot so bad. I was hobbling on one foot. I could barely walk. I could barely perform daily activities. Kyle's type 2 diabetes, we didn't know it was diabetes yet, but he started getting sores that weren't healing and more symptoms that he might have diabetes. So he finally went and got checked. And it was that diagnosis that scared us both enough to go, we got to save our lives here.
Yeah, we can't ignore this any longer. It's like, it's now or never, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a couple years older than me, so he was in his early 30s, and we're really young. Our health is in jeopardy right now. We have to do something. We had tried so many years. We did try to lose weight, but we tried in ways that were not sustainable. Fad diets, exercise challenges, taking away food groups, taking away, carbs, treats, and none of that stuff ever worked. So we decided, what if we try small changes that we can do ourselves? While I went to the doctor and got treatment for the plantar fasciitis, I got stretches, I got orthotics. Kyle said, I'm gonna try to fix my diabetes with diet and exercise first and not take the medication right now. I took
we don't recommend you listen to us for anything. We're just sharing our story. So go to the doctor and do what they say.
Yes.
And Nicole did get a CPAP machine, like she said, to get her through to what we're gonna talk about next.
Exactly. We got the treatments that we were ready for in order to give us the time so that we could try to fix it, doing things that we could do. So we started making small changes. At the time, we were drinking 7 cans of pop a day. We weren't ready to not drink the pop, so we simply switched to diet. Because the pop we were drinking was like 140 calories a can, we saved almost like 1,000 calories just by doing that. That was one thing we could do because regular and diet pop tasted very similar. We were eating a bag of chips each per night as a snack. We decided to share a bag instead. Pour it into a bowl for each of us, and that was it. Those were two small changes. We were able to follow through with.
And with exercise, we couldn't do much at our size at that time. So we said to each other, what's something we can do right now, like today or like tomorrow morning, where we don't need a gym membership, we don't need to be in good shape already to complete the exercise, and that was walking. So we started with what we could do, which is about 5 minutes before we needed to stop for air or stop for leg cramps.
And that's what we did. We made that pact and we got out every single day. Rain, snow, we live in Canada. Some days we were knee deep in snow, but we made that pact and we went out there. It didn't matter how long we went. It was the fact that we went and we were consistent. And that 5 minutes, sometimes we had to stop every couple minutes. Leg cramps, my plantar fasciitis, we were out of breath. We just physically couldn't push on anymore. But we stopped and then we would keep going when we were ready. And every day we pushed a little more.
Those couple small changes that we did really started to finally, for once in our life, reverse the weight gain, reverse the health damage we were doing to our bodies. And we did those, you know, on our own.
Eventually, we built up our stamina and we were able to go longer walking. We started losing weight. We started seeing reversing symptoms. After we lost 50 pounds, and we lost 50 pounds in 3 months with portion control and moving our bodies, because we had so much weight to lose, the first 50 came off pretty quick. After that, I went to the doctor and got another sleep study. And I said, like, I'm noticing that I think I can do this without a machine. I got medically cleared of sleep apnea and I no longer needed the CPAP machine. My plantar fasciitis started to clear up. And with stretching, regular stretching, I was able to keep it at bay. And I started to be able to walk again.
Within 2 weeks, my blood sugar started to improve. And 7 years later now, I have, every time I get my A1C tested, I check my blood sugar, it's perfect. So go to the doctor, get help if you're noticing these things, but don't ignore them.
Don't ignore the signs. If you're starting to get signs or experiencing what Kyle and I experienced, that maybe your weight might be causing some health issues, please do not ignore them. Go to the doctor, get treatment. We have no degrees whatsoever. This is our story, so please go get help and follow the advice of a doctor. We were able to reverse things with diet and exercise. Other people may not, but we're making this video in hopes to inspire those that are ignoring symptoms that are really important to not ignore. Please do not ignore these.
You're worth it, guys.
You're worth it. You are worth it to feel good in your body, to feel healthy, to love your life, and to not hurt yourself. Please take it from us. We know what it's like to struggle, and we're telling you that it's possible. You can do small changes right now. Anything. Even if you eat 3 plates of dinner, have 2 instead of 3. Or if you eat 4 pieces of toast, have 3 instead of 4. Any small change you can make. Small changes and consistency is what helped us. We were able to lose 130 pounds and we've kept it off for 7 years doing that. And if you want to know exactly what we ate to lose our first and next 50 pounds, we do have 2 weight loss guides. The links are down below. We also have a brand new guilt-free cookbook. Low-calorie versions of all your favorite foods without the guilt and extra calories. And
we don't eat a lot of meat, so this really helps us get our protein in.
if you want some really good protein, this is the one that we use. Huddled, harder than last time protein. Link for this and other supplements from Greg Doucette's line down below. Or you can watch these 2 videos for free because we make weight loss easy and fun on this channel. We really love you guys. You can do this. Kyle and I are here for you the entire way. Thank you guys for watching. We love you. We're here, baby. We gotcha. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it.